Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We are here with Brandy and Charlie Brown, and we're going to demonstrate all the obedience commands he's learned here at school. But first we're going to introduce the training equipment. Brandy's got a standard 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in her right hand, which leaves her left hand free to make a correction. And the only correction we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment. Now when they come home, I'm going to show you how to properly put that on and how to use it. Now the first command we're going to demonstrate is heeling. Heeling is properly walking on the leash, always on your left, and the command is Charlie Brown heel. Now at this point Charlie Brown's got a job to do, and that's to stay even with Brandy's left leg, no forging ahead, no lagging behind, and whenever Brandy stops, Charlie Brown has been trained to automatically sit. If he doesn't automatically sit, you may notice a little tug and release on the training collar, which again is a little correction to say, hey, you're supposed to be sitting. And this is going to be really handy if you're walking your dogs in the neighborhood, but more importantly, this obedience training is going to give you a lot more control indoors as well as outdoors. Again, everything always starts and stops with the dog right there on your left. You can speed up the heeling process, you can slow down, you can throw some turns in there. Anything we can do to keep him more focused on you. Nice automatic sits. Another nice automatic sit. Now the next command we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The sit-stay is a hand and a voice command. Brandy will use her left hand and the one-word firm command to stay. With your stationary commands, start off at roughly 20 or 30 seconds, working up to 3 minutes. When you return back to your dog, you notice Brandy walks all the way around him. She stops at heel position, and Charlie Brown's ready for another command, and they take off heeling again. Again, heeling should be effortless. He should be walking very nicely on your left. Again, his shoulder blades even with your left leg. So walking them should be a pleasure. Another nice automatic sit.
Stay.
Again, Brandy gives him the stay command, which is a hand and a voice command. We only use their names and those movement commands, so heeling or calling your dog. And Brandy's going to demonstrate the come command right now. It's Charlie Brown come. You can use your leash as a little bit of a guide if you have to, but the idea is that Charlie Brown comes back to you and he sits facing you instead of coming back and jumping. Then Brandy gets him back to heel position and they take off heeling again. Nice about turn. He's sitting there right there with his trainer, not forging ahead or lagging behind. Another nice automatic sit. Brandy gives him another stay command. Again, practicing these commands when they come home is going to be really important. Keep your training sessions short. 15 or 20 minutes is certainly long enough. But if you can incorporate these every day, that's the idea. Brandy calls Charlie Brown out of that sit-stay again. Again, he comes back to his trainer and he sits. And then Brandy gets him back to heel position, which is what we call a finish. And then they take off heeling again. You can see he clearly likes doing this with his trainer. His tail is up. He's got a good attitude. This gives him a little job to do, and a lot of times it tires dogs out too, which is always important, which is always good. Now the next command we're going to show you is down from heel position. Brandy uses her left hand and the one-word firm command to down and to stay. And he should hold this for a little longer than a sit-stay, maybe starting off at a minute or so, eventually working up to 5 minutes. Take your time getting there. When Brandy returns back to Charlie Brown, she's going to walk all the way around him, counterclockwise. She gets back to heel position and stops, and then Charlie Brown's ready for another command. And then they take off heeling again. Doing these commands with both of your dogs is going to create some pack status. So you'll be the leader, which is going to be really important because Charlie Brown needs to know and that there is a boss and there are some consequences to that bad behavior that you guys don't like. Again, down and stay goes out to the end of the leash. If you're working in a fenced-in area like we are, you can always drop the leash down the line, increase the distance between you and your dogs. If you're working inside, which absolutely you can work inside, you can do that as well. When Brandy calls her dog out of that, again, as Charlie Brown comes, she lightens the tone of her voice. He comes back, he sits facing his trainer, and then they finish back at heel position. Very good. And then the very last command we're going to demonstrate before we get your other guy out here is going to be the down from heel position. So again, Brandy will put her dog in a sit stay. Now you could tell he was getting ready to sit and he chose not to, so a little tug. Brandy said no sit. She's going to take a couple steps away. She's going to use her right hand at this point. Of course, he's got the itchies. And that is our down from a distance. So without those couple little, itching fits that he had, your dog should be seated. You put him into a stay. You can take 3 or 4 steps away in the beginning, and you use your right hand and then the one firm command to down. And we're going to do all this live and in person when they come home. But we've demonstrated the Charlie Brown's ability to properly walk on a leash, which is healing, the automatic sit, the stay, the down, the distance down, and the come command. We want to thank you so much for using Nora's Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer, and we'll be back with your next video.